This is the Griffin Podcast, episode number 106. We're in our agent plan, and the question on the table today is, does marketing help you find business? Are you a home seller or buyer who has questions about selling or buying residential property? Or maybe you're a real estate agent who needs a plan and has questions, but all of you are having a tough time finding your answers? Well, then, hey, you're definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of The Griffin and the host of the Ask-A-Griffin podcast. Now, to help you take immediate action to get started in the right direction, if you're a seller, a buyer, or an agent, you can take advantage of our free step-by-step guides that are waiting for you at griffincourses.com. That's Griffin courses.com. All right, let's get into this. We are in our agent plan here today. It's one of our 3 plans. We have a simple plan for each part of what we do in our business. There's a seller plan, there's a buyer plan, and an agent plan. So the question on the table for agents today is, does marketing help you find business? So the first point is, you have to recognize that you will not have enough people that you know to market your services to. So what do I mean by that? Well, there are many coaches and trainers in the real estate agent business who talk about things such as by referral only. And as if it's some sort of a bravado. And look, I like those trainers. There are several that I have known for a long time that's their promotion, by referral only or referred business. And it's great. Who doesn't want to be referred? Isn't it wonderful? But like anything, that requires you to be intentional about that. It just doesn't happen on your sphere of influence. That was one of the things many, many years ago when I was introduced to this business. I kept hearing these terms, and I'm just that type of person that doesn't take anything that they hear without questioning it. So my inquisitive mind said, what do you mean sphere of influence? What does that mean? Oh, well, you write a letter to everybody that you know, and you tell them that you're a real estate agent, and you ask them for business. Well, sounds like I'm going to be that person, right? What am I going to do? Walk into every room? Hey, you know anybody that wants to sell or buy a house? It just sounds ridiculous to me. And plus, I have a business mind. And prior to getting into this business, I was really in the outer ring of investment banking, working in research. And then I was in the venture capital business. And I was fortunate enough to see that the way successful businesses run is they actually have a way of generating business from nothing. Meaning it's not previously sitting there in their sphere or their way of influence. Think about all the great companies that start and just wake up and start doing business with people that they don't know. And that's the segue here, is that I don't want you, even if you have a big sphere of influence, meaning there are a lot of people that know you, or there are a lot of people that follow you on social, that doesn't always translate into business, new business, that helps you grow your real estate agent business. It doesn't. And in fact, in my experience, sometimes if that sphere of influence isn't and hasn't been targeted, okay, I know a lot of social media folk that have massive followings, and I know how they got them. They paid for engagement on social media on their content, and all the algorithms will get people that will follow them. Okay. You might know that as buying, followers. And in some cases, maybe it's a little bit more nefarious like that, but let's just assume it's a fair way to go to someone like Facebook and pay them so that your content, the algorithm sees who's likely to engage with it. And then when they engage and they like you, they follow. But is that really a targeted business to get a listing at or above the median in the geography within which you want to do business? Hell no. It's just not, in my experience. And I have done a lot of marketing, and I love marketing. This is one of my favorite subjects. And I would be very open to targeted marketing in that discussion any day of the week. But in my experience, which is all I can speak for, not somebody else's, I can tell you that I would never rely on all the people that I know. And I know a lot of people, and probably a lot more that I don't know that I know. But I don't want that to be the primary source of my intentional acquisition of business. So I recognize that the second point after the first point, I know I don't have enough people that I can market my services to who will then go refer me. I just think that's a dangerous business model. And that's why this business is largely part-time. When you hear those concepts, it's a piece of a holistic approach. I like it, and I like some of the ideas in that world, but it's a piece of a holistic approach to running any sort of a business. So the second point of you must learn how to do business with people you don't know begs the question, well, how do I do that? A lot of you get nervous, okay? You say, well, it's just some of my top producing clients in my other business, the Realty Classroom, which is my coaching consulting business for top producers. A lot of them, they also get nervous about introducing themselves to somebody else, even though they're already really good at what they do and they have a lot to offer. Understanding how to introduce yourself to people outside of a ring of people that you already know can be scary. Let's just put it right on the table. People get nervous about that. I never loved picking up the phone and outbound calling people. So to this day, I actually hire people to do it. But ironically, when I go face to face, I have zero regrets, worries, fears of going face to face because I love to be face to face with somebody who's serious and I can educate them on how to do this with or without me, right? So that puts us in this dilemma. If there is that gap and we are worried, how do you overcome it? Well, let me tell you how I overcame it here at Griffin in the Realty Classroom, the other brand, is that I learned that marketing really is truly the best way to introduce yourself to people that you don't know. But I'm going to underline introduce yourself. I think too many people believe that it's a take. And I'll tell you, in my experience as a coach, there are many more great people in this business who want to give and they don't want to take. And that's precisely why they stop trying to go after business with and from people that they don't know, because they think it's ugly. They think, and it's a misperception. So let's talk about introducing yourself as an agent to people that you don't know. How would you do that? Well, the simple thing that I learned to do is what I'm doing right here in this very podcast. I learned how to put together 3 plans: a seller plan, a buyer plan, and an agent plan. And in those plans, I simply talk about the universal ways that a seller can be successful, a buyer can be successful, and an agent can be successful. So I took the obvious and I wrote these plans about them and I chunked them up to be simple to understand and gave them away. Now, there is no better marketing than learning how to give away your best what to do information for free if you are looking to introduce yourself to people that you do not know. And I am telling you that that was the biggest change in the way that I did business over the last 23 years inside this business and everything I had learned up to that point. It was the biggest change. And it was a huge relief because there's no taking when there's all giving in the beginning. If I introduce myself to you and I give away my best what to do information for free, if you have context that you want to become an agent, that you might want to sell a property in one of my geographic areas, that you might want to buy a property in one of my geographic areas, there's a very good chance that because I'm the one that introduced myself by giving you what to do information for free, there's a high probability you will ask me for more. The law of reciprocity breaks down all this fear because you get to give, but you have to learn how to own that. So when you're marketing this, you have to own this. This isn't, well, what if I give it away for free and they have an agent and they give it to them? So what? You left a better footprint. See, for me, I learned long ago that one of the highest callings in life is to be a person for others. I learned that probably when I was about 18 or 19 years old, where it really sunk in. And forever, that has been my why. I will continue to do that. But it did take me a while to assimilate it into my business because I didn't really know how. I knew I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how until I realized these plans were the way. So that's my best recommendation, is that you learn how to give away your best what to do information for free to sellers and buyers, and that will introduce you to people, especially those that have context, the expireds, the canceled, withdrawns, somebody who has passed, somebody who's inquired on the internet, and including somebody who's been referred to you but doesn't know you yet. You can't just assume that because you got referred, they're going to do business with you. I find that that's one of the biggest mistakes agents who do receive referrals make, because they don't really think, oh, I don't really have to do anything. It's been referred and the conversion's all been done. Not good. So let me go back and just reiterate this. The question on the table today is inside of our agent plan, our third plan. And it's under our marketing section. And the question is, does marketing actually help you find business? So in order to answer that, the first point was, well, you will not have enough people that you know to market your services to. Meaning, first of all, before we even talk marketing, just understand that I know we'd all love to be referred, and that's great, but they're just not enough. It's not enough. It's small compared to the overall section of your geography where people want to buy, sell, or whatever they want to do with you, right? Next, you therefore must learn how to do business with people you don't know. And the third point, which is the key point, is that marketing is the best way to do that. It's the best way to introduce yourself to people that you don't know. And the little bonus section for all you listeners today, do that by really giving away your best plans for free. I'll summarize it by saying many real estate agents assume that they know enough people who will refer them so that they will actually be able to build a business. However, that assumption is usually never true. I mean, it's a very rare occasion I've seen that as a coach really happen, but that person really had a business plan. So that's where you really have to say it's critical, okay? It's critical that you learn how to leverage marketing. That's just a vehicle. Marketing is just a vehicle to introduce yourselves and your services to people that you don't know. And that's what's going to help you build a sustainable real estate agent business. All right, remember, you can take immediate action to get started in the right direction if you're a seller, a buyer, or an agent who wants help by getting a copy of these plans I'm talking about here. They're step-by-step guides, and they're waiting at griffincourses.com, Griffin courses.com. Also, don't forget, you can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It syndicates to most spots. And we also post our content on YouTube, so you can see the video of this. If you're a visual learner, we're on YouTube. You can go look for The Griffin Channel. It's a big black banner with white lettering that says The Griffin. That's where all this is waiting for you. We'd also appreciate it if you would share our content with home sellers and buyers or real estate agents, anybody that needs help, that you hear this and you can pass it on to them so that they get some help that they need too. Remember, there's no obligation to do business with us. We're just trying to leave that positive footprint. But remember this, nobody's coming for you. Nobody. So you have to take your own action and get to work on a plan for buying or selling your next property or becoming a successful real estate agent as discussed here today. And of course, we'll see you in the next episode to help you do just that. Thanks.